now that you guys have seen all the before and afters of this cleaning, let me spill some tea from behind the scenes and answer some commonly asked questions. I will just start by saying no one supports these cleanings the way Scrub Daddy does. Now, most of my cleanings I cover the cost for because it's just not feasible for them to cover all of them, but this cleaning would have been literally impossible without them. This cleaning was way worse than we imagined since it was not properly vetted and we had no idea what we were walking into. I have quite a thorough before process to ensure I know exactly what to inspect. However, I was walking into this clean blind. It was not originally supposed to be my cleaning, and only a few photos were sourced prior to arriving. Aside from the photos, the most we were told is that there may be a few bottles of Tinkles and some cat droppings. So back to Scrub Daddy, as if it was not enough that they flew me there, paid for everybody's accommodations, trains, hotels, etc. They covered a countless amount of skips, so many new things for this woman's home, like a brand new bed, mattress, bedding, a vacuum, brand new everything for the kitchen, new throws, pillows, lamps, you get the picture. These kind of things they were happy for and expected to pay for. What they and none of us expected was to pay an insanely huge fee for a biohazard disposal, because we found not a few, but over 900 bottles of Tinkles, along with so many bags of Cocoa Puffs. Now, when I heard the estimated price at first for just half of these bottles, I could not believe it. I said absolutely not. I said it was absolutely extortionate and I would empty these bottles hand by hand down the toilet. I did not want that on them, but when I tell you by the second bottle, I would have paid that price myself, because even with a full face respirator on, I could smell poultry. So thank God for Scrub Daddy, because at the end of the day, I would estimate that they probably spent about $30,000 to $40,000 on this one cleaning alone. And that is something I've never seen another company do for anybody. Now, I know a lot of people have been asking why there was no kitchen cleaning footage, and that was because I was not allowed to clean the kitchen. It wasn't until everything was booked that I ended up finding out that B actually had a paid promotional partnership with a fridge company, so nobody was allowed to touch that or the kitchen. She had to do that by herself. And honestly, good for her. At the end of the day, I'm just glad somebody got paid for this cleaning. And that actually answers another question as to why she stayed extra days after the Scrub Daddy team and I left. It was to get the new fridge, clean the kitchen, and tie up the last few ends. And to all of the people asking how she can live like this, she couldn't. If it wasn't for us coming, she had already had plans to not be here for Christmas. So be kind to people, because you don't know how much they're struggling to get through every single day.
So we listen and we don't judge. This was the girls' bedroom this morning. So today is Christmas Eve, so I had to do a quick Christmas Eve speed tidy. So first things first, I always start off with the beds, whether it's in the girls' room, my room. I don't know why, but I just feel like doing the beds first just gives me the motivation I need. I don't know. So of course, like I said, it is Christmas Eve, so I put the girls' Christmas bedding back on. Also, does anyone else's child literally like accumulate like everything somehow on the bed? I have truly never known two kids to have such random things all on the bed. Like, I don't even know how they sleep with it on there. Every time I come to make the bed to put fresh bedding on, like, I'll literally just find everything that could possibly be found in a house but on their bed. To be fair, usually it's mainly like books and teddies and stuff, but I don't know how they do it. Just finished off Kalea's bed and then it was time to move on to Tina's. And this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Like, how was all this literally just on one singular bed? Please. So, of course, just took her old bedding off to put the new bedding on. I did actually set myself a half an hour timer whilst doing this because I wanted to get it done like as quick as possible. And I thought if I put myself an actual time limit, it might help me get it done quicker. Which, to be fair, I actually did only go like 10 minutes over what I had planned to. So I set a half an hour timer, but I think I ended up doing like 45 minutes. But I also was watching Ellen and Neil at the same time, so I did actually keep getting distracted. So I probably should have just done it in pure silence. But then again, that is literally so boring doing that. Like, no, sorry. Because honestly, my job list today is just never ending. The girls are currently at nursery, which has given me a few hours to get stuff done, luckily. Why does no one talk about how overwhelming Christmas Eve is? Like, I feel like Christmas Eve is more stressful than Christmas Day, because I feel like Christmas Eve is like about tidying, cleaning, prepping, like all that. And it's no, like, can we just like cancel Christmas next year? Thanks. Joking, I actually love Christmas, but kind of like low-key don't. Anyway, don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. Honestly, whenever I do voiceovers, I feel like I literally just like do it the most. Like, I don't even make sense when I'm speaking. I don't know how anyone can watch my videos when I do a voiceover. But anyway, the girls had some like fresh like laundry that just needed folding and putting away. I feel like this is probably up there in my top 3 worst jobs to do in the house, because no, like it's boring and I hate it. No. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to get it done so they can have a nice, clean, fresh, tidy room. And that big, like, pile of clothing was actually just sort of making the room just look so messy. So I was like, right, no, getting that done. To be fair, now that the girls have got a lot of drawers each, it makes it easier instead of, like, cramming it all into, like, one set of drawers. I then just did a quick hoover up. Does anyone else actually really enjoy hoovering up? Because I think I'm, like, really weird. And, like, when it comes to, like, hoovering up, I actually really weirdly enjoy it. Like, that's probably one of my favourite jobs out of the lot. I don't know why. I kind of find it, like, therapeutic. Is that weird? Anyway, I then just put the rug down because I realised I literally hadn't even put it down in ages. And I thought it makes the room look a bit, like, cosier. Then just gave it a quick spray of air freshener. Once you get to this point, this is when you know that you're done, because this is like the finishing touch. But yeah, this is the girls' bed looking all cute and Christmassy. And then this is the completed room. Honestly, look how better it looks now compared to the before. I actually get comments about my carpet looking like a council house carpet. I don't even live in a council house, but yeah, that's the room done.
Welcome to the craziest free deep clean I've ever done in my entire life. This house was something else. As you can see, I don't even have to explain why. Here I was still really excited. I was wearing my white suit. I was joking around. I hadn't even been inside of the house yet, so I had no idea what was waiting for me. And then we opened the door and I got quiet. We had to clear out the hallway to even enter the house. And when I walked in, this was my first reaction. I was like, I got so claustrophobic, I got so quiet, I got so overwhelmed. I had never seen anything like this before in my life. So thinking about the fact that people once used to live here, actually it was a mom and her kids, I don't know how many kids. They haven't been living here for the last 2 years because it's just not doable. So if they've been living somewhere else, but the reason why we're here is that maybe after we clean, she might be able to live here again with her kids. Anyway, the first half an hour, I almost wanted to leave. I saw so many spiders, and you might not know this about me, but I have an intense fear of spiders. I actually went to therapy for this a few years ago because it started to control my daily life. I did a few sessions of exposure therapy, so this was great exposure therapy. But the first half an hour, I really had to force myself to stay there. I thought to myself, why did you say yes to this? And Emily, who you can see here in the frame, she's also afraid of spiders. So sometimes we would like start screaming if we saw a spider, and the other girls would start laughing. But actually the other girls really helped me through it because I would see how they like fully immersed themselves in the trash and like got excited to clean it. I also thought to myself, like, yes, you have to step over this fear and shut off your brain and just do it. So I did that, and then at the end of the day I would see so many spiders and I wasn't even that afraid anymore. Of course, I still, like, an alarm still goes off in my mind, but I didn't act upon it, if you know what I mean. Anyway, The morning of the clean, we found out that there was no electricity in the apartment and we didn't bring any power banks or lights. So Jacolin's husband came to bring us some lights because otherwise we wouldn't be able to film this footage because it was so dark inside of the house. Also, Jacqueline thought it was funny to jump in the trash, but what she didn't know is that there was a table underneath her that really got her back. So she was like, rub it off. Halfway throughout the day, this is how much trash we accumulated in the house. Jacqueline rented like a container for the trash, but after the hallway was already full. So eventually we had to rent 3 containers that were like 400 to 600 euros each. She paid it all from money that was donated to her towards these free cleans. And if you would like to donate, I also put up a Buy Me a Sponge. It's linked in my bio. And I will also link Jacolin's donating page if you'd like to donate towards her. We can buy cleaning supplies, stuff like that go towards these free cleans. We do not use it to compensate our time because we do actually clean for free. We just use it for these ridiculously expensive containers and stuff like that. Jacqueline even bought supplies for the homeowner. She bought a Christmas tree, and you will see all of that in the next video when we actually get to clean the house, because here we are just removing trash. We brought so many cleaning supplies this first day and we didn't even touch any of it. And let me also address something else because I already know I'm going to get a lot of comments about this. You probably think we're throwing everything away, but that's not true. We would make a selection between throw away and keep. However, a lot of it, like 99% of what we found was trash. And it was also contaminated, like contaminated with dirt, with insects, spider webs. So even if we thought of keeping it, it was not worth it because, oh, look at these spiders. When they lifted up the couch, I wanted to run again. This was the end of the day. After cleaning for 8.5 hours each, 4 girls, we only got to do the living room, the hallway, and then Emily at the end of the day, she was like, I want to get to the end of this kitchen. So she had to crawl over like 1.5 meters of trash. Look how high up she is. And look at the spider web on her shoulder. I was like, nah, mijne bellen. See you for part 2.